Project for today is to continue working on these excavator buckets here. In last week's video I made a whole collection of these rings and of course also these two pins that will be installed of course on the ears of the bucket. But before I can weld them on, of course I have to clean up these surfaces and take off these two studs here, or whatever you want to call it, because they're in the way for my bushings. And on the smallest buckets I took off the teeth, and as you can see, this part here, there's a lot of wear. Normally this is straight and it's always already been repaired a few times, but here the welding was a little bit a fail. So what I have to do is clean up this corner and re-weld it. And this one will of course also receive new bushings. So I have also had to clean up the ears and weld it on. And this one, as you can see, the bottom, there's a tiny bit of wear. But I don't think I'm gonna fix it in this video, because first I need to find a piece of steel plate that can fit in here. Cut out the bottom and then of course weld a new plate in it. But for the moment I don't have a piece of steel for it. And this one, same story. Now the steel here is in perfect condition. It's only the ears that are completely worn. But as you can see, there is a tiny bit of play here. So this one will also receive new bushings. I'm just curious to know how much wear there is in this thing. These holes normally are 30 millimeters. And now we have almost 38, so that's 8 millimeters bigger than it has to be. As you can see, there's a lot of work to do, a lot of grinding and welding. And I think I'm gonna start with this one, because I'm gonna start with this one. That's all. We will interrupt this very interesting video for an important message. At this moment, my beloved camera gave up the ghost. Doesn't work anymore. This thing is 5 years old and it took many clips. Now what I really like on this one is that you have this monitor screen and I can see in the screen what I'm doing, and when I am at the other side of this lens here, flip it around and I can see myself. Now I'm using my phone and I cannot see myself. So right, I will experiment a bit filming with my phone and with some other old stuff that I have here and see what happens. So sorry in advance for the crappy sound and video quality. And now we can witness a typical case of measure once, drill twice and still no good idea. Right, if I install my 2 bushings against the ears of this bucket and I install 1 pin here, no problem. The other one doesn't fit because of course I managed to drill the holes in the wrong spot. That's stupid. But I will figure something out later to fix it. Let's first weld these rings on here. And to do that I especially bought a brand new little reel of welding wire. Now this is the kind of wire you use without gas. For many years I used this 0.8 millimeter, normally regular welding wire, nothing special, because this is very easy to use and it's nice and hard. And now I'm gonna give it a go with this one, no gas needed. Now if you're interested, this is the RL, I suppose you can read. I have no idea what it means, but that's what it is. Let's install this in the welding machine. First let's move all this junk out of here that someone put here, I don't even know who. Now for those who are interested, I don't know, this machine is 25 years old. It's a Semont 230T and it is a really nice machine. It works very well, and in 25 years I used a lot of these bobbins of wire, of course, that we can find in here, and I repeat, I never had any problems with this machine. Good stuff. Right, let's take this thing out and put the small one in. If you let go the end of this wire, you will have a nasty surprise. Maybe no need to ask how I know. Oh, Sylvie. Can you wire? Here we go. A problem. Who would have thought? That's not good. I have maybe a solution for my little problem here. I have an old reel, as you can see, empty. And of course this one fits in a machine because it's made for it. Now, if I can put this wire on this reel, maybe that could work. It works! So far so good. This thing went without any trouble at all. Now, I don't know, but I've been told that when you want to weld with this gasless welding wire, you have to switch polarity, which in this machine is really not difficult to do. For me, it is the first time ever I switch polarity in this machine. I never touched this before. Let's see what happens. Right, let's install the welding torch and install also, of course, the wire. Of course, it will work better if we turn it on. And normally we're ready for action. Of course, because there's no gas, there's no need of this thing here. Before I start welding on this bucket and pretending to know what I'm doing, I think it's maybe a good idea to first practice a bit, because I never used this kind of wire. I don't know anything about the settings, if they're right or not. So I'm gonna practice on a practice piece. The first weld here was an existing one, and I made 1, 2, 3. These 3. That's all. Now, what are my first impressions welding with gasless wire? In my opinion, it is a bit more violent, a little bit more noisy than welding with gas. Maybe it isn't true, I don't know, it's my idea. What also I have to get used to is the fact that the nozzle isn't in place. Sometimes I use the nozzle and then I can put it on my workpiece and spot weld exactly there because there's no movement. Of course, if I take it off, this thing, if I touch my workpiece, it will weld the copper piece on the workpiece. That's not good, but I will get used to it. And I think the time has come to give it a go on the bucket. Let's weld these rings in place. I just finished tack welding these rings here in place, nothing welded yet. And the most difficult part was of course to line these pins parallel to each other and at the right distance and all this. But now, as you can see, this one works perfectly fine. And this one almost. But first I will weld them up and then I will see if I have to give it a touch of file after, probably, but we'll see. Let's go for it. As you can see, it went very well. Now I had to open doors and windows here because this kind of welding is way more smoky than with gas, of course. Now as you can see, the fit is close to perfect. No waggle in this one, a tiny bit in this one, but that's okay. And because I drilled these holes in the not good spot, I made 2 little rings that I'm gonna weld on here, and then I can use one of these clips instead of 2, and then I have the, of course, after welding, the mushroom idea again. And this is how it looks like after cleanup. And as you can see, it still fits. And this one is a little bit more snug, but I'm sure it will work. Now, these welds will never win any prizes, but it's not a contest. And this is where I will end this video, and I want to apologize again for the not good quality of video and sound, but we do what we can. I will try to find a new camera and then go from there. Now, let me know in the comments if you want to see the repair of these two other buckets. I know it's not really the machining and shaper content I do normally, but if you're interested, let me know. Otherwise, I will find another project.